need to stop denying the importance of physical attraction in your marriage and really relationships in general. I'll get deeper into that. You need to stop ignoring it though. Here's what happens with most couples, not all, but most couples. You forget about the things that initially made you attracted to each other. Yes, we can talk about personality or we sync or we like the same things, we like to hang out, and all that stuff's important. But chances are you thought the other person was hot. So you men out there, you thought, man, she's a beautiful woman, and that started the spark. You women, you thought, like he's a handsome guy, and that sort of led into more things. Now, as you got to know each other deeper, other parts of the personality, character became as important, and they stood out. But let's not deny, in most cases, there are very few exceptions to the rule where the physical attraction does not mean anything. And what I believe happens in a lot of marriages that slow down, that don't have the same passion or intimacy, is that physical attraction stops getting worked on. You stop doing things to look presentable to each other. You start dressing differently. When you first started dating, maybe you were wearing, nice clothes, well tailored clothes. You probably smelled nice, had some nice cologne on, and all that kind of stuff. You got married, you got the woman, and you got complacent. You let yourself go. You started, eating more McDonald's. You started wearing old ratty T-shirts with pasta stains on them. You stopped grooming as much. You got kind of ragged, and things kind of went downhill. And we blame all these other things. Well, I got too busy with work, or taking care of kids, or what's another thing that people say? I got too busy with all my other responsibilities. They blame age, and all those are just poor excuses. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go out here and look like a professional athlete, but you got to maintain. You got to stay in shape. I've talked in another video about the importance of taking care of your physique. That doesn't go away. Just because when you started dating or when you got married, you might have been, I don't know, 26 years old, and now you're 43 years old. There's no excuse for a 43-year-old person to not be in shape. I'm 40 and I still exercise 5 days a week. Same or similar to when I was 30 or when I was 20 or when I was in my teenage years. So I built that equity and I just kept it up. Now, I can't be as obsessive with it because, yeah, I have more responsibilities in my life, but that doesn't mean that you can't make time for it. You can figure out, and I talked in another video about this as well, you can make 30-minute sessions a week to take care of your body and exercise. You can take time to prep your meals a little bit, or at least avoid eating junk food all the time. But you have to take care of yourself on a physical aspect because that is an important part of your marriage, your relationship. And it's really sad how much couples just don't take account to that. Like, that's what started the spark. In a lot of cases, that's what initiated it. And you get complacent, and then what'll happen is you start looking at other stuff and start blaming that. You start blaming the finances, you start blaming the schedule, you start blaming, oh, you work too much and you don't spend enough time and all these other things. But if it came down to it, if there was still a heavy physical attraction, intimacy, that would take care of so many things for a lot of you guys out there. And if you think I'm wrong, just try it out. Like, really be committed. If you've let yourself get out of shape or get sloppy, commit. Commit for 3 months of eating right, watching your nutrition, getting back in the gym if you've been out of it for a while. Drop a few pounds, get a little bit leaner, take care of yourself. And don't tell me that it doesn't make at least some difference in how your wife interacts with you. Either she's going to be more physically attracted to you, or she's going to respect you more, or a little of both because you're starting to respect yourself. You understand the physical elements of all this. You understand the physical attraction part of it, and you're not ignoring it. because you can do all the other stuff. You can lay down all kinds of money, and you could go to therapy and classes and all these things to try to enhance or save your marriage. And those are important. That's another thing I talk about too. Those are important. You want to keep it going. But I'm not going to sit here and deny that the physical attraction part does not make a difference, because it does. It frankly does. And you can read all the books about doing special dating techniques and talking techniques and reading emotions and devotionals. Again, those things are helpful as well. You got to take care of yourself. You got to be in good shape. And just try it out. If you've let yourself slack, you like donuts and chicken wings and French fries and a little too much, and you've let yourself go, you haven't been hitting the gym, your belly sticking out some, buttons are starting to bust on your shirts, just try it out. Just give it 3, maybe 4 solid months of consistency. When I say consistency, I mean when it comes to exercising, eating right on a 7-day week. Can you do that 5 of those days? And maybe when you get to the weekend, you can have a couple beers, you can have some fried chicken and some cake. But during the rest of the week, can we have some salad? Can we eat some lean protein? Can we eat some vegetables? Can we drink water? Can we try to hit the gym a couple of times or go for a jog a couple of times? And in a few months, come back to me and tell me how much it's made things better. And chances are you're going to have a lot more energy, you're going to have a lot more vigor, and you're going to get more from the respect thing, like I said earlier, of how you're looked at, how you're viewed. Like you're taking care of yourself. So if you take care of yourself, you're going to look more appealing, and you're going to look like somebody that deserves to have somebody fawning over them. Because that's what you want. Like, you want your wife to have those same like heart-shaped eyes that she probably had when she first met you or first started dating you. With that said, I'm going to be honest, you're probably not 100% going to get that spark back, because that's kind of a honeymoon phase thing, but you can get a large part of that. And especially if you've let yourself go for a long time and you go back to what your true baseline is of someone that takes care of themselves, you might get the heart-shaped eyes. You might get that. So try that out. You have to take care of your body, and not even just on a relationship perspective, but just overall. Your body is a temple for the Holy Spirit. I had to throw something biblical in there. Your body's a temple for the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit doesn't need to live in a dump. So if the Holy Spirit dwells within you once you accept Christ, and you're feeding it potato chips and hot dogs and beer and fried chicken and and Fritos and all this stuff, and you're not taking care of it, come on. That's disrespecting the Holy Spirit within you. So take care of yourself. This will, I can say, I don't like to say 100% things, but I could say like in the high 90s would say that this will help things exponentially if you've let it go. So that's just my 2 cents. You guys take care. God bless.